venue that's hosting these World Championships. And here is the man he'll be facing, Wang CHUQIN, world number 2 of China, former world number 1. Has a quick glance around. He won't be fazed by these surroundings at all. We heard from Ollie a little earlier on about the laser focus of Shujin Yao. And we can expect that Wang CHUQIN will be absolutely locked in and ready to go here in search of a place in the last 16. Best of 7, of course, for these singles. And sitting alongside me for this one, Adam Bobrow. Both of these players, Adam, in good form heading into this one. Head-to-head is led by Wang CHUQIN. Wang CHUQIN still looking for a first win over the second seed, and this their 5th time of meeting. Separated by some 45 places in the world rankings, but Adam, you've told me at times not to pay any attention to the world rankings. We can have a chat about that in a minute after we have the coin toss. It's Hung Yan-ling who will be overseeing that one. She's in charge of this encounter today. Wang CHUQIN patiently awaiting his opponent, who is being told to hurry along. We're all waiting for you. Just some last words of advice from the coach in the corner. Makes his way across to the table one ahead of the coin toss, and then we'll get going with a quick warm-up, but he will not be rushed.
Red or black? Red for Wang CHUQIN, black for Wang CHUQIN. Black? Wang CHUQIN, winner of toss, choose receive.
Well, there's a big task ahead of Wang CHUQIN of Hong Kong, China, coming up against the world number 2. And not only is he up against the world number 2, he's also up against all of these fans as well, who'll be firmly behind their man today. But Wang CHUQIN has had a very busy day indeed. This is his 2nd match. He's not long finished competing in the previous round, in the round of 64. And he finds himself now at table at number 1. Let's have a look at the last match then for Wang CHUQIN, utterly in control against the Brazilian. Ronaldo Izuka winning that in straight games. He hasn't dropped a game en route to this 3rd round. And Adam Bobrow, can you see him dropping one today?
Well, yeah, for sure. I don't expect it per se, but Wang CHUQIN has been incredibly strong. A little look back all the way to Nandin Naresh without dropping a game. Nandin, an up-and-comer in the U.S. Izuka, very strong, I think deceptively strong. Brazil, obviously, with Hugo Calderano taking down the top 3 in the world consecutively to become the World Cup champion, has definitely caught a lot of attention and inspired the way. And Wang CHUQIN here, the pen holder at 33 years old, has a lot of experience over the table. His backhand is incredible on the receive, and it gets a lot of side spin. I've had a chance to play with the man, and he's had a chance to play with the best in the game. He's been as high as world rank number 6. And on any given day, you never know. Got through Edward Lee, 4-0, Thibaut Poré, only dropping 1 game.
And of course, that match against the Frenchman happening just a couple of hours ago at the other venue. How will he have used that time in between that win and that short time in between that and this match now? He has had very little time to reset and prepare to face the world number 2.
Actually had a chance to see him down in the practice hall a bit ago. Was joking around with him, his coach, and one of his practice partners a bit. I think just to relax, as you saw the odds stacked against him here. The fan vote 90-10 favoring Wang CHUQIN.
No flash, please.
The fans, well,
Wang CHUQIN to serve. Love all.
It's a big conversation. He had his 25th birthday, and tens of thousands of Chinese fans fled the streets, and there was a drone show all over China. Many drone shows at the same time. For that man, the current world number 2, turning 25, and they've shown up here in the stadium in drones as well.
Absolutely, stands are packed for this one.
1-0.
Expectations incredibly high.
Let 1-0.
Well, Wang CHUQIN, of course, we saw him 2 years ago at Durban into the semi-finals, and He'll be expecting to go all the way to the final. That'll be the aim, of course, for Wang
1-2.
Chuqin.
Yeah, I just remember the word droves now suddenly, thinking about English and whatnot. Yeah, Wang Chuqin, pressure is a real factor. It was in the second half of last year. He's overcome many obstacles throughout his career. I think that's part of the reason he has so many fans. From being benched for tossing his racket back in the day to coming back to be one of the most noble, admired players. He just has this incredible determination. It's a fine balance between being agreeable and standing up for yourself. And I think he walks that thin line well, but at the table, he's incredibly well respected. And off as well.
4-2.
I think one of the most dangerous things about Wang Chuqin's game for me is that he stays right near the table, but when he needs to back up, he's not afraid to take big shots from both wings. He plays a very low trajectory, high-risk game.
4-3.
Well, let's head down to join Gavin Maguire down at the table. Gavin, where do you think this game will be, or this match rather, will be won and lost?
Rebecca, best seats in the house here. I'm right beside Wang Chuqin's fan club. It's great atmosphere. Everybody's in World Championships fever now. I think it's a big ask for Wang Chuqin now in terms of what he's got to do. He has to take the initiative as early as possible in the rallies if he wants to have a chance here. Wang Chuqin, I think it's going to be business as usual. He's going to be so aggressive from his own serve, always looking for backhand flicks when possible against Wang Chuqin's serve. So early exchanges is where it's going to balance out for me. Who takes the initiative?
Thanks, Gavin. Well, the second seed already looking dangerous, looking aggressive here already.
Yeah, it's perfect placement right into the crossover. And Wang Chuqin then has to lean back just a little bit to create some space and try to get back in forward towards the table.
7-4.
Now this is that side spin backhand that I was talking about. Wang Chuqin comes around the outside of the ball. Watch this. Heavy top, but that side makes it go wider to the forehand. Really forces Wang Chuqin to move quickly. Above the pain lies dawn, lies the dawn.
5-8.
And this is what Gavin was talking about in terms of taking advantage over the table, but Wang Chuqin right there for the response. Oh, the angle here as wide as can be, taking his risks. Not afraid to hit the corners or take some chances, and the closer he can stay. Look at the bend on that ball. Straight to the barriers.
It's 7.
And he's mixing it up nicely. Sometimes he goes wide, sometimes he slows it down. One piece here, infinite aspiration. That's what it said. It took me 2 tries, but.
7-9.
So Wang Hao there knows what it's like to be a world champion. Spent 27 months at world #1, 2009 world champion in your corner. Not bad to have it. Just cleaning the table to make sure every bounce is honest, predictable. Good recovery from under the table from Wang Chuqin, but Wang Chuqin hanging on to the advantage in the rally to close the gap. Look at that beautiful wiggle, little mini snake there. Look at this, touches it, and when you can't see the contact, he wiggles up subtly the other way.
Wang Chuqin lets out a big scream in celebration, earns himself 2 game points here.
Korean fans watching on as their player just put up a good fight.
Then 9.
Good adjustments there. Not a lot of time for him to turn that forehand up. Wang Chun-ting as he saves a game point.
Well, this wasn't in the script. 2 game points have been and gone now for the second seed. What's going through his mind at this stage, Adam?
That's a good question. Hopefully, for his sake, nothing other than winning this next point. Business as usual. He's been here before. Still game 1.
Wants himself a 3rd game point. The crowd firmly behind. You can hear the noise levels inside the arena increasing.
You could hear the heartbeat of that fan through the teeth. Game number 1 in a close scoreline, enough to get the heart rate up for many a fan in the stadium.
Well, let's head down to join Gavin Maguire. Gavin, how's your heart rate down there?
My heart rate's okay, Rebecca, but my hearing, my God, these fans are loud. Wang CHUQIN has a serious amount of fans in the arena right now, and they are letting them know who they're up for. They're really enjoying it out here.
Gonna get Gavin some earplugs for the next time Wang CHUQIN plays. He takes the opening game 12 points to 10, a hard-fought opener for the second seed. Took home 2 titles from Durban at the last World Championships, the mixed doubles with Sun Ying Sha, the men's doubles alongside Fan Zhendong. Well, how must it feel to have thousands of fans shouting your name?
Second game.
Will Wang CHUQIN be feeding off that? Will he be blocking out the noise? We heard earlier Ollie was down in the field of play saying that
Second game.
he thought that Zhou just was blocking everything out. Do you think Wang CHUQIN will be doing the same?
Yeah, he just gets used to it. I think this is part of the game, right? It's part of life. It's all the routine for him at this point in his career.
煮沸レベル消臭ビーズ
なんか洗っても匂いが落ちないよ
そんなこびりつき臭には消臭ビーズシャシャッとすれば煮沸レベルの消臭力を発揮
匂い消えてる
レノア消臭ビーズ
Wang Hao. I think he comes to the table with a clear tactical plan.
Love to.
So in some senses, yes, it's a bit of tunnel vision. It's a bit of blocking it out. You can think of it like a warm blanket, like a hug that's there when you need it, but that doesn't distract you.
1-2.
Some ITTK, that instant table tennis karma comes right back. One net gets another. Wang Chun-ting there with the clipping. The reaction, gotta love it. This is a beautiful forehand flick. The penhold grip has more wrist flexibility. I mean, you're sitting next to me, Rebecca. You have a pen in your hand. You can turn your hand 270 degrees. If you were holding a stick like a shake hands racket, you couldn't.
3-2.
I'm still practicing that, Adam.
No, it's good.
Trying the theory.
I like it. It's good to see you playing some table tennis, even when we're up here commentating. Still a 1-point lead for the second seed, keeping it cool after a tight game 1 going extra points.
Oh, it was very cool indeed. There was so much power, wasn't there, behind that forehand?
Yeah, he set it up nicely with the placement on this pendulum serve, getting a passive traditional backhand. Against underspin, Wang Chun-ting will keep that ball short very well, but the side light topspin brings it back high for a third ball winner. Variation in the timing as well, even in his counterattack in game. Wang CHUQIN, a full stroke. Side spin comes in, you can see how much bend is on it, and he adds his own side spin to it, but with heavy topspin, the ball drops out, dips under the racket, and it's a 3-point lead for the second seed. The body language of Wang Chun-ting was that of a man who just made a very tough shot, and after setting up a good opportunity, wasn't able to convert. It's never easy against Lionheart. Doesn't miss by much.
6-3.
Oh, you can see the anticipation. Wang Chunting running around to try and meet that shot. Unfortunate for Wang Chuqin, who did well to stay in that one.
It's funny, China versus a Hong Kong China player had a very memorable situation where Tong Peng was looking away.
Ball inside.
Warning here.
6-3. Ball in the table.
So the
6-3.
question for me is, ball in the table at the point of contact or at the point of tossing? The warning is just the same. I guess it's up to the player to ask the umpire which. Just to clarify, a lot of rules on serve. Wang Chuqin does a wonderful job of getting as close to the baseline as you possibly can on a serve. And it seems that the call was you were actually inside the baseline. There is an advantage to being closer to the net. That's why the players try to stay close.
4-7.
That flick game once again paying off. Very effective here, Wang Chunting.
And you talked,
7-5.
Adam, about being close to the table. Wang Chunting pretty much on top of it in the last couple of points.
Yeah, Lu Guodong watching on, brother of Lu Guoliang. You can see how much spin, rotation is on that. But yeah, he does definitely crowd the table. And he's been warned for it. We've seen players be faulted a few times in the same game, same match. And as tight as game number one was, he can't afford that.
A really well taken point from the second seed to extend his lead to 4 now, closing in on the end of the second game. What a way to bring up 5 game points, Adam. You've got a smile on your face watching that one.
Oh, clips the net on the way over, but it's beautiful. It's a classic combination. Send it short to the backhand, deep to the forehand. Soft push, gets the flick. From under the table, that fanning wind.
10-6.
The second time of asking wraps up the second game, 11 points to 6. Much more one-sided affair than the opener was. And he took 12 points to 10. Well, here's a look at the top 16 seeds in the men's singles, all intact so far until we get to number 9, Alexei Lebrun, unfortunately having to withdraw earlier on. Tang Cho of Germany was on the end of a big upset yesterday, knocked out by Tom Jarvis. And Benedict Duda knocked out a little earlier on by Quadri Aruna. What a contest that was. That was absolutely incredible. The roof almost off the Lusail Arena. Such was the noise inside. It was a real blockbuster between the pair. But it's at this stage of the tournament where the seeds begin to fall as we enter the latter stages. This, a round of 32.
Third game.
Looking for a place in the last 16. 2 games away from a place in the last 16. Wang Chuqin. Wang Chunting reached the round of 32 2 years ago at the World Championships in Durban, whereas his opponent went all the way to the semis, lost to teammate Ma Long.
Love 1. 1-0.
Good parallel here to surprise Wang CHUQIN. Attempted shot block. It's always nice to see. We've seen him pull off this creative shot before.
2-1.
Now this receive here, that traditional penhold backhand, very well executed, sets up the flick for the fourth ball, but then the quality of the next jumps up and out towards that edge of the racket.
1-3.
You know, with Wang CHUQIN, Adam, under pressure now with 2 games down, you know, best of 7, of course, he's got time. But how does he approach game number 3 now?
As if it were 0-0.
Let.
Tactically, what does he need to look at? Does
1-3.
he need to change anything?
Definitely. I think short strokes, I think quality pushes. And I say pushes,
2-3.
meaning allowing Wang CHUQIN the opening tack, not every time, but if he can get him to move and set up a good counterattack, that might pay off to be more effective. That said,
3-0.
following his serve where he can and trying to make the most of any opening shot. He doesn't want extended rallies here. This is beautiful surprise, even in the replay. It looks like the ball's going cross court. Wang CHUQIN thinks the same, and then it comes back to the backhand side.
Superb
4-3.
point for the second seed. Let's head down to Gavin Maguire, who had a good view of that one.
Yeah, I've mentioned it already, Rebecca, best seat in the house. And interesting for me, Adam was talking about the tactics there. It's just crazy, the level of risk that Wang CHUQIN needs to take in order to just win a point against Wang CHUQIN.
4-0.
Thank you, Gavin. Interesting point,
This-
Adam.
Yeah, that's what he's up against. I think he's playing a player who plays a risky game to high success. And if you're the underdog, you can't play your average game.
4-5.
I think the tough thing is forcing yourself to take shots that are against your intuition, that are outside of your comfort zone. Point after point after point, it's exhausting. Like anyone learning a new language, trying to have a full day of conversation, it's tiring.
And this, of course, their 5th meeting.
6-4.
Wang CHUQIN has never found a way to defeat Wang CHUQIN.
That doesn't make him unique. He's in a
Yes,
very
play on.
large group of players who have that same experience against Wang CHUQIN.
7-4.
I'm just looking at the serve. I'm thinking, man, there have been a lot of serves taken, a lot of points awarded for false serves, with TTR in the house. Gives players a right to challenge if they want.
Let. 7-4.
Oh, wow, that was
4-8.
incredible. I can't imagine that Wang CHUQIN saw that one coming. The change of pace was just lightning quick.
Yeah, perfect placement to set it up. The push half long gets a passive shot out of Wang CHUQIN. He was looking for the attack with a little bit off the net to the short side of the table. Very difficult shot. You know, Wang CHUQIN did challenge a serve, and he won the challenge.
Wang CHUQIN
4-9.
is looking more and more comfortable as this match goes on.
Yeah, I feel like it's an echo chamber, a positive feedback loop of confidence, and that's often how confidence and success work.
9-5.
Things are working out his way. What reason would he have to be more nervous? Just a reminder that in theory, he should have this. Just like the history says, they're head-to-head.
10-5.
5 game points now for the number 2 seed. And what a way to bring up game points. Well, he had 5. What to think about ahead of game number 4. Pivotal, crucial game for the Hong Kong-China player. Can he find some answers?
The quality on this last forehand, what can you possibly do? He's under the table, and Quadri Aruna-like forehand with the arm behind the head. plays it low, shallow, and spinny. How do you counter that, if you can?
And we talk about the head-to-head. This is the 5th meeting. Wang Chunting still hasn't found a way through. He's got to win this next game if he is going to stay at these World Championships. The conversation between him and the coach taking place right now, what will the advice be?
You like Seal, the musician?
I'm not really that good with music, but carry on.
Well, maybe the coach is saying we're never going to survive unless we get a little crazy. I think you've got to think way outside of the box. Long serves occasionally to the backhand. Change it up, even if you have to serve with your backhand. We've seen Ma Long do it. We've seen players in desperation. Just try to create a bit of hesitation on the opponent's side. Sometimes shock value. Lubo Pichete's done this incredibly well. Whatever it takes to get your opponent thinking, hesitating. And he tries with more touch play here, throws everything in when he has to step around. But players at this level, this is where table tennis is a lot like chess, that you're playing to control space. Wang CHUQIN is never off balance, and for 7 of the last 8 points, he's controlled the table.
Love 2.
The idea is right, as he's going to call a timeout here. Tries to slow it down, add some side spin to it. Despite pulling out of the men's singles event, Alexis Lebrun for a long time has had the best record against Chinese men. And a big part of that is his change of pace and his unpredictability. Wang Chunting trying to use that here.
前两个感觉站在四维八，站在中间四维八，我感觉不太好折，不太好折的这个平面上加点钱，加点质量也对，这种手感是吧也对，完了因为就重质量的手里边，完了以后就感觉弄不死他，哎他的球员你稍微质量低一点，就是感觉老感觉能发上力，是吧？这个一般有点这感觉，没其实有时候偶尔投了1、2个也行，但是不一定要侧身，是吧？现在体力各方面都那个什么，不一定要侧身，你完手里边就能完了能是吧？能加上质量，尽量加上质量。 好，完了一个地方就行，一个咬，完了以后那个啥，自己反正是后头，完了以后放开点，就包括发球里面，我们两个给他搏，这个4维8我打不动他，我可以搏住点啊。
Time. Love 3.
Well, you said you got to get crazy.
This was crazy. I think from the net to the wide shot, Wang CHUQIN playing this ball on the run, and then another backhand. He's never really out of the point, but he keeps the pressure on. Wang Chunting to play on the parallel for the win.
Three, 2.
I can see Wang CHUQIN visibly frustrated, throws his head back. Thinks he should have got that one, but this has been a great restart for Wang Chunting.
Yeah, I was going to say, not a bad timeout. 3 points in a row. Right to the baseline on the push. Good variation, less rotation on it. So Wang CHUQIN overlifts there. This parallel forehand, tough to contend with. Wang Hao's seen many a world champion under his tutelage. There it is, the commitment. We've seen a forehand flick. This time has to leave the feet, leave open the backhand corner. He was moving the other way, and a quick, panic might not be the right word, but quick pounce to get in as he rushes across. Keeping level here.
5-4.
I think we have to remember it's a must-win every game for the rest of this match for Wang Chun-Ting. Back against the ropes, down 0-3 against a player who we know is going to be fighting all the way till the end. Wherever that end may be, whatever round that is. But by seeding, we would expect it no sooner than the final.
But this is much better from Wang Chun-Ting, keeping pace since that restart. And do you think that Wang Chun-Ting is bothered by what he's seen since the restart?
Score-wise, no doubt about it. It's tough not to shrug it off, or I'd say to let it get under your skin, rather, that you need to, in some senses, be cognizant. It's a fine balance of being aware and letting something rattle you. At this point in time, 3-0, Wang Chun-Ting has a lot to be positive about.
7-6.
You can hear the crowd still shouting his name, everybody with their cameras held aloft, desperate to catch these moments.
There was fault
7
called.
all in the tip, inside the end line.
Think he's gonna TTR it? He's got 2 if he wants.
TTR.
There it is. Why not use him?
Wang Chun-Ting challenge service.
Nothing to lose here except one of your 2 challenges. So these are just replays.
The table, inside the end line.
Again, the clarity for me, I think there's no separation for the signs. Umpires have signs for different warnings. It's all the same sign for tossing inside the end line or contacting inside the end line. I would guess that it's contacting inside the end line. This has been noticeable over the years, but it's dangerously close. You want to be as close to the table as you possibly can, and he's, you could say, a master of that. So the anticipation here, moment of truth awaits, looking to see if the ball was contacted inside the baseline, in which case he would lose one of 2 challenges, and he would lose the point as it's been called. Heng Yangling waiting right now for the TTR specialist, who finds just the right camera angle to analyze the best camera angle possible of, I think, 17, 18 cameras. Here it is, the crosshairs. Ooh, man, so that's just the toss. Again, it's not clear to me what the challenge is. If it's the toss, service legal, not inside the end line. There it is, successful challenge.
Challenge successful, Wang Chun-Ting remains.
He's amazing. It's the 2nd time he's challenged to call that almost everybody would have guessed was the other way. On service angle toss, he was inside 30 as well, by a lot.
But given he's had a couple of warnings and he does have that TTR at his disposal, why not use it? He'll feel vindicated.
It's tough to know exactly how he will feel. I think he'll be happy with the outcome itself, but of course, being called on it in the first place, if it was working out for you, it's not the best outcome. It's just impressive to me, his eye for the game.
6-9.
And that little hiatus for the TTR review has done him good. Look at that, they paused at 7 all. Of course, the point taken off Wong, and now it's 3 in a row for the 2nd seed.
Low, spinny, slow sets up 4 match points. Rebecca, I think you just made a brilliant point that if you need a timeout and you don't have one, TTR could be your best friend. Can you imagine?
Well, I can now.
Happy to hear that.
10-7.
Well, there you go, the first of 4 match points saved, but Wang Chun-Ting has 3 more chances to get this one over the line. The Wang Chun-Ting goes long. Wang Chun-Ting marches on in straight games. A comprehensive win for the number 2 seed here. Next up will be either Lin Gayan, his teammate, or Simon Gauzy. They are currently playing. It is the Frenchman who's 3-1 up in that one. playing for the honour of facing the world number 2 next. But a very, very impressive win indeed for the second seed, Wang CHUQIN, with a masterclass out there on table 1.
Doesn't drop a game. Well, you asked me at the start, it wasn't expected, but it was definitely possible. Game number 1 quite tight. After that, everything fair and square favoring the second seed. TTR 2 for 2 in my recollection, and a good handshake here, some eye contact, and says tough luck, my friend. Moves on to the next round after 30 minutes of active play, over 150% the points of his opponent, serves, wonderful streak. I mean, he really held his composure.